Hi Cancer, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Cancer is your bi-weekly general reading between the dates of the 20th of February and the 5th of March. I'm going to draw 6 cards to begin with. The first 3 cards are going to relate to this last week of February, and the second 3 cards are going to relate to this first week in March. I'll pull supporting cards as necessary. I've already shuffled and meditated. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera and then we shall get started with your reading. It's interesting. It seems like some of you are faced with making a decision over this next couple of weeks, and it seems like you do come to a decision, but there's a little bit of confusion and disorientation before you really get to make that decision. So it's interesting. It will be interesting to see what that is actually about as we move through the reading. Now, this is the reason why I deal the cards face down, because I do connect with the energies, and so obviously just so I don't get distracted, because it can be quite distracting sometimes. So these are your cards, these are your clarifiers. I'll know when to show them, and this is the card at the bottom of the reading. It's the 5 of Pentacles. So this is Pentacles energy related to things that we put our energy into in order to manifest. Now the card at the base of the reading is sort of the overall experience, and it's suggestive that over the next couple of weeks there is change that's going to come for you, Cancer. Now, as I said, I got this impression already, even when I was just dealing the cards, that there's a decision that needs to be made, a choice that needs to be taken, and this could definitely indicate, I call this something that challenges our ego, really. So something in the real world that challenges our ego and that makes us assess whether or not we're in the place that we need to be. So this can be losing our job, it could be someone dumping us, it could be deciding to start a new life, anything like that, anything that's going to challenge the status quo of your situation, and that's going to help you to to face up to the fact that there's something that needs to change in your world. Okay, and this really it can leave you feeling isolated, when you have to go through making this type of choice and decision. And I feel like, as I said, for some of you, you might be a bit disorientated over February and March, over this couple of weeks, but it's definitely something that you gain clarity over and you move forward with. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual cards. Okay, so we've got the Emperor. So you've got the Emperor, which is the boss card, and the Emperor is number 4. So 4s are all about our foundations or our non-negotiables. This is who I am. I am someone who is ambitious. I am somebody who wants this. I am somebody who is this. Whatever you are, this is what the Emperor represents. It represents those aspects of yourself, the things that you that everything else hangs on, if you will. Okay, and the Emperor is confident. The Emperor is in charge, and the reason the Emperor is confident as in charge is because he knows what those things are for him. He understands the foundations that make him, that form his identity, both internally and externally. Okay, so there's a sense of knowing with the Emperor. There's a sense of strength and stability that comes, but it's because the Emperor has been reflective. So really, you should hopefully be in a situation where you're starting to feel like, even though I feel there's instability, you're starting to see what those are for you. This is who I am. I'm someone who needs this. I'm someone who needs that. I'm someone who gives this. I'm someone who gives that. Whatever those things are for you as an individual. That's what this energy, that's what this card represents. And that can be something that is, you know, unsteadying. But look, we've got the Queen of Swords here. So again, we've got this element of, you know, sword energy is about our thoughts, our minds, our clarity, our consciousness, our communication. That's how I always say it. So it's like it trips off the tongue now. But it is about, you know, trust. It's about trusting, you know, sometimes we don't let ourselves think about things. We don't let ourselves question things. We don't let ourselves, you know, look at things that have happened that have hurt us, for example. But the Queen of Swords, we have to trust. With the Queen of Swords, we know that we can do that. So you trust that you can do that. You trust I can look at who I am. I can look at what I want. I can look at what I need. And this is not, you know, the Queen of Swords isn't active, so it's passive. So it's just about the understanding. You know, this is understanding what you want to say, understanding who you are really, what you think, you know, what your perspective is. This is really that gaining clarity on those things, not necessarily taking action. If it was a King of Swords, we'd say, because that's active, we'd say taking action. But with the Queen, we say it's just about the understanding. So I think that you're going to be going through that, some of you, this week, you know, this week, this basically until the end of February, you know, going through trying to work out, this is who I am, this is what I want, you know, what is it I want, etc. And then we get the Magician card, which is excellent. So the Magician card is number 1. So it's the second card in the Major Arcana. And the Magician energy is all about knowing who you are, basically what I've said, knowing who you are, knowing what you can do, knowing how to do what you need to do in order to achieve the things that you want, etc. So this is the energy, and feeling like you're ready to engage, you're ready to create, you're ready to start, you're ready to go for it. And it's that energy of, okay, I can do this, you know, I know I can do this, you know, I've got the qualification, or I've got the experience, or, you know, I've gone through my counselling, so I've gone through the healing, whatever it is. So I'm ready now. That this, whatever it is for you as an individual. So this is that energy of, again, you know, similar thing, like we've said, you know, we're in the point where we're starting to think about these things. We're starting to reflect on what we want. We're starting to understand who we are. We're starting to know what we think and how we feel. And we're ready to sort of do something with that. We're ready to sort of, that's going to help to propel us to the next phase. You know, what then do we need to do next? This is that energy. So we've got the King of Pentacles. So this energy is so grounded. You know, I'm a Capricorn, so obviously I'm biased, but this is it's the best card in the, no, it's not. I'm just joking. Yeah, I am a Capricorn. This obviously can relate to a Capricorn, Pisces, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But it's the qualities of that really, of the earth. And, you know, we talk about with the King of Pentacles being a good provider, or the boss, a boss card, you know. So we've got 2 boss cards. So maybe some of you might be wanting to be self-employed, or maybe some of you might want to be independent, you know, whatever that means to you, you'll understand how it affects your life. But there's a sense of wanting to take ownership of your own life, of your own destiny, you know, whether that's in whatever area of life that affects you, okay, relationships, love, work, family, whatever. You're wanting to take ownership, you're wanting to start, and you're very grounded. You understand, this is what I need to do in order to get the things that I achieve, the stability that I want to achieve. And you're willing, not only do you know, you're willing to take action on those things. You're willing to take action with the King, masculine movement, and with the Magician as well. You're willing to take action on those things. And then we have, look, excellent, we've got this card here, the Victory card, the 6 of Wands. Now, the 6 on the Tree of Life, number 6 is the energy of beauty. And I always talk about the fact that beauty is about an appreciation, about the recognition of the value of something. So for you, this is you recognizing your own worth, your own value, recognizing what you have got to offer, recognizing your strengths, recognizing, you know, your abilities, and also not only you recognizing it, but other people seeing that in you, seeing that change in you, seeing, yeah, she can do it now, she's ready now, I can see that she's more confident, you know, she's clearly doing whatever or he or whatever, you know. So this is that type of energy of you know, recognition, reward. There's like, it affects other people, you know. in a positive way. So, you know, you doing well, you feeling better, you feeling more confident. Other people are grateful for that as well, because other people can see, wow, you know, if they can do it, so can I. Or, you know, she's been like that for such a long time, and now, you know, look at the difference. And it makes them feel better and feel good. So there's a recognition, there's a support, it's supportive, you know, to be celebrated. You know, your self-love, you know, you feeling good about yourself is, and feeling strong enough to do the things that you want to do. That is something to be, that everyone can share in the pleasures of that, if you will. Okay, so I know what's going on there, but I really want to, for some reason, I need to look at these for some reason. So let's look at these ones. So we've got the Page of Wands. Don't ask me why I want to look at this card, but I do. So we've got the Page of Wands. So this is about, it's an active card, and it's masculine, so it's about taking action. Now this card is related to the fire signs, Mars, etc., but it's also related to the second chakra, which is your sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is all about your creativity, it's about your creativity, your emotions and all that stuff, and your imagination, but it's that feeling that something's right, or something's ready. You're ready to go. You're ready. You can feel it, that anticipation, that excitement. But it's not just a feeling like that. That's nothing. It really comes from somewhere. And when we have the Page of Wands, it's as if, you know, this isn't something that should be news. These two want to come out together, so I'm going to pull them out together. It's not something that should be news to you. It's not something that, you know, this change that's coming, or this going in a new direction for you is not something, or this decision that you're making, it's not something that is new to you. It's not something that you suddenly have thought about this week and then all of a sudden you're going to change your life, or you're going to do something different. It's like it's been building, it's been coming, and it's kind of like you can sort of articulate it now. You can sort of see what all those synchronicities, or those wonderings were about. You can sort of, you know what it all means. You understand what everything means now, and you understand that it means that you need to do something, go somewhere, start something, make a decision, whatever it is for you. And we've got the Five of Swords here, Five of Wands here, again, fire energy. And the Five of Wands is like, it's where you have everything you supposedly have everything that you want, that you've built, that you said you wanted. And we're going through a situation with, again, a number 5 changes, where that sort of brings about change, because you sort of start to realize, how much am I willing to fight for this? You know, how much am I willing, you know, is this really truly what I want? You know, I'm going in this direction. Is it really truly what I want? You know, everyone's against me, or it's too difficult, I've got no money, whatever it is, you know, it's going to be too hard, whatever. This is that type of energy. But we've got to remember this. You've got to remember that you've got here because you are actually ready to be here, because you've listened, because you've responded to what you've been experiencing emotionally, etc. So I think it's important to not be afraid, to not turn your back, even if it's going to be hard. You know, don't turn your back on yourself. Don't turn your back on achieving the things that you want to achieve, and having the things that you want to have, because you got here to this point for a reason. You know, that wasn't just like a sort of, it might seem out of the blue, but it isn't. There's already things rumbling beneath the surface. You know, you knew you potentially wanted to make a change, or you knew potentially he wasn't right for you, or she wasn't right, or the job wasn't right, or whatever. You knew, and so now you're doing something different, and it might seem to everybody else like it's out of the blue, but there's been those rumblings beneath the surface. And so you've really got to stay the course. You've really got to stay strong in yourself, especially as we enter March. You know, we've got the first card here of the 3 rows that I selected, and we've got the 4 of swords. So again, beneath the Emperor, the Emperor's number 4, and we've got the Queen of Swords here. We've got the here we've got the 4 of Swords just below that. with this to clarify. And the Four of Swords is, again, about our foundations. And this one is, we call this card the meditation card, because again, sword energy is about our thoughts, our minds, etc. And number 4s are about our foundation. So it's about connecting really with your processes. You know, what am I thinking now? You know, how am I, you know, how are things? You know, how am I responding to this? You know, how am I thinking positively? Am I thinking negatively? Am I being realistic? You know, am I overthinking? Whatever. You know, this is about taking that time to just reflect on sort of how this situation, you know, this decision, how these things unfold, you know, how they're affecting your mental processes. You know, be mindful. And this is why, you know, the tarot for me is such a tool, because it's about learning. You know, we can learn so much about our existence and about moving through the challenges that we face in our life and the experiences that we have in our life if we just be mindful, if we pause, if we reflect. Okay, so do that. We've got another 4. So we've got another 4 here. We've got 1 4 with the Emperor, then we've got 4 and 4. So, you know, we've got these 3 4s coming through now. And I've written a post actually about all the 4s on my Instagram. 444. So you have to scroll down for it, but I think I put it in the, if you look at the story highlights on my Instagram page, I've put a picture in there, so it's easy to find. So anyway, if you want more information about the number 4 and 444, etc., check out that post. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So this is about, it's funny because you've got the Emperor, as I said. I know who I am, I know where I'm at, I know what I need. This is like having those things and not moving on them. And I actually think this is the right thing to do for now. I think that your confidence, for some reason, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing that's been uncertain for you. You know, your confidence in yourself, your self-confidence, you've tried it before, it didn't work. Why is it going to work now? And I think that that's maybe a thought that's plaguing you. In fact, check out the video about mantras and automatic thoughts in the Key Wisdom playlist, because sometimes we don't even realise the type of things that we tell ourselves in our minds, the type of stories we repeat about ourselves. You know, I'm a lazy person, I'm a greedy person, I'm a this, I'm a that. And you don't even realise the type of things you're telling yourself. I think that you need to spend some time in March, maybe in this first week of March, being reflective of the type of things you tell yourself. And don't move, don't take any action, because you're where you need to be right now. This is like having all the things, you know, having everything, you know, the things that you need, your non-negotiables, and not using them, not taking, you know, not sharing them with other people, not sharing yourself with other people, not sharing your resources with other people. And that might be, you know, just not being there on the end of the phone because, you know, you can't, your friends, you know, going through a divorce or whatever, and they need you to speak to and you're helping them, but you just need to you just need to focus on yourself. This is that type of energy, actually, the two of these together. It's like, you know, yeah, I know they need me, you know, but I can't. I just need to just take a minute. I just need to just reflect. Because you're not understanding what you're telling yourself. You're not understanding what your attitude about yourself is. And I think that that's what you need to realise. You need to realise, because on the outside, externally, we've got all this going on. These are like these active cards here. This is like what everyone sees, you know, and you're feeling like this, and you're going out there and people are recognizing, yeah, look, she's done really well, or he's done really well, but within you're not feeling the same. You're not feeling that same confidence. Now the Emperor feels that confidence. The Emperor does, but the Emperor's only confident because he knows what that's built on, and you need to do that. You need to reflect on yourself and really just sort of be reflective of the things that you have gone through, and you know what you've been managing, and what you've had to overcome, and also what you learned from this past sort of 5 years. So say, for example, this is an example, you've been in a difficult relationship for the last 5 years, okay, and now you're out of that relationship. and you're ready to do things and go forward and live your life, and everyone's, your family, your friends are like, oh my God, finally they're out of this relationship, it's so, you know, they're so much better now, they're so much more confident now. But then you cry when you're alone, or you think back to that person, that relationship that wasn't healthy for you, and you worry, oh my gosh, am I ever going to find anybody? Am I ever going to meet anybody? So on the outside, we've got this Page of Wands, this exuberance, this confidence, but on the inside, there's this uncertainty, and you don't realise the things you've been telling yourself. So this person, this relationship that you was in for 5 years was awful. They kept telling you, you're useless, you're useless, you're useless. And so you now tell yourself, you know, you're making a cup of tea and you drop the cup, and in your mind you tell yourself, oh, I'm useless, I'm rubbish, I'm stupid. And you don't realise what you've learnt by that 5 years being in a difficult situation. You don't realise the type of things that you've learnt to tell yourself and that you've learnt to feel about yourself. And and that's what this is. You've got to learn who you have become, and you've got to learn that you're only that way. You only tell yourself that you're useless because you heard it every single day for 5 years from your employers, or from your mum, or from your bosses, or from your boyfriend, or whatever. Yeah, this is that energy. So really spend that time. You've really got to. You've got to look after yourself. You've got to look after yourself, okay? There's no point me saying anything about this card, because I've literally just said it about what I've just said about all this is this. You know, going within, you've got to find out the things that you've learned, because you're carrying those things around with you as if they're you. So someone told... It's funny because I've been ill. I'll give you an example very quickly. I was ill, as you know, the 5th of... Oh, I tell you what, 5th of January. And that's when the part solar eclipse happened as well in Capricorn. And I'm a Capricorn, right? So anyway, I missed my birthday this year. I didn't get to go out. I was in my bed until, you know, really this last week is the week that I started to feel better last week. So anyway, I've been ill all that time. Now, I was in a relationship for 6 years with a guy, you know, a guy. He's called Wes, and well, I won't go into detail, but basically, he would always say the same thing to me all the time, and it wasn't very nice to hear someone say that to you, you know. And so when I was ill those weeks, you know, I've realised that I was still like, instead of just being ill, like, okay, I'm ill, I'm just going to just chill out, I'll get better soon. Like, I could hear like what he used to say to me in my brain. So it was positive to have the time being ill. This is why the Hermit energy I always relate to, because it's earth energy anyway. So earth energy, I'm a Reiki master. So when we use Reiki, there's different types of energies. There's earth and there's Shokure, Seiheki. There's all these different types of energies anyway. And the earth energy, which is what that's a symbol of, is if someone came to me and they said, oh, you know, Ruth, you know, I've got a bad back or I've got physical pain, I would just use this energy to help with their healing and with their treatment. And so I always relate earth energy, this is related to the Virgo sign, Hermit, I always relate this to physical health as well. And so basically what I just went through, so I'm ill, I've got the flu, but actually I'm a hermit, I'm in the house and no one sees me, but actually being in that situation makes me makes me do this. I get to think, I get to realise, I get to listen, I get to know what's going on in my head, I get to be conscious and become aware of that I'm still carrying stuff around with me. That's what you need to do, basically. So I hope that helps. That I know it was a long-winded explanation, but that is really what you need to go through. So you're in a place where it's disorientating for you right now because new things have happened, you've left somebody, or you've started a new job, or you've moved countries, or whatever. Everyone's different. And you know, and it's a change, and it's a positive change, and you feel finally I'm taking control of my life. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm focusing on myself with the boss card, and that's really positive. You need to reflect though. In March, Mercury retrogrades come in. Read the description box below. you need to reflect in this time, in this first week of March, and in March, probably, not just probably that first week. Some of you might, I don't wish the flu on any of you, but some of you, you know, this could be related to physical healing as well. So a situation that happens that forces you to take time out, or a cold, or not a cold. Listen, the next person who's got a cold and says they've got a flu, I ain't buying it, because I couldn't get out of my bed for 6 weeks. Tiny didn't even go for a walk. Oh my word. And dehydration, I've never known dehydration like it. I got to the point where I was just like drinking water, and then I was like, every time I need to drink water, I need to go for a wee. My bathroom's downstairs and my bedroom's upstairs. Oh my word! So I would like try to not to drink water, so I didn't have to go to the toilet. Oh my, because I was drinking gas. Oh, it was. So listen, if you get the flu, I don't wish the flu on anyone, because it ain't no fun having the flu, even though you learn a lot, like I did. That's what I always mean about experiencing the energies. No tablets, no painkillers, no medicine. I just sit with it so that I can give you all this information about your readings, you see. So anyway, hopefully you won't get the flu, but some of you potentially might have a physical thing to overcome. But having that time off work, having a week off work, whatever, that will actually give you time. That's what you need. Universe is giving you that so that you can spend some time reflecting, okay, on where you're at and what you've learned, etc. There you go. Did I talk about the 7 of? I think I probably did, didn't I? That confusion that comes with it when I talked about, was this your reading? I can't remember. But we have the 7 of Cups here. So this is literally Mercury retrograde for me. And read the description box below. It feels exactly like Mercury retrograde. So as I always say to you guys, I'm a Reiki master. My channel is called Key Wisdom Tarot. They're not random things. And I talk about experiencing the energies. They're not random words that I just say. They're things that I actually do. It's how I live my life. So as I said, for example, when I am ill, like I was for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, I don't take any medication. I don't take painkillers. I don't take anything. I don't take antibiotics. I just be ill. And the reason I do that is because I can do this, so that I can be reflective, so that I can understand, oh, this is linked to the solar eclipse, and okay, so that I know that the next time a part solar eclipse happens, that this is the type of things that it might have, the type of ways that it might affect people, the type of ways that it might affect me, how it might affect us physically, emotionally, spiritually, etc. So when I tell you this is the Mercury retrograde, believe me, because it is. But the beautiful thing about this 7 of Cups energy is it helps us to forget. So literally, I mean, this is unbelievable. Some of you might actually get the flu, and I don't want that to happen to you. But when I was, had the flu and I was reflective, so I was like, right, what energy is this then? What energy of the tarot is this that I'm going through? And I was going through the Hermit, then the 7 of Cups, and then the Star card, the Strength and the Star card, okay? So believe me, so I'm sorry if you get the flu, but you need to have this time out. And the reason is because I'll try to explain it as simply as I can. With the 7 of Cups, what happens is we lose things, we forget things, we lose parts of ourselves or forget parts of ourselves. We don't remember why we thought that about ourselves or why we thought that about that person. And it's a process that happens that goes on. It starts, it's deep beneath the surface. It's on a real emotional, spiritual level. And, all 7s are challenges. And that's why, when the 7 comes with the Hermit, you probably might be getting ill, some of you, having some time off work. But when you come out from that illness, you're a different person, you're changed, you're renewed. And this is that type of energy. It's like you're going through a process spiritually now that even if it is challenging you, when you come out of that process, in the middle of March, probably by the full moon, I'll read the astrology, probably by the full moon, end of Pisces season, you will feel stronger, you will feel more confident, you will have known the things that the learned behavior that you picked up from the last relationship or from the last job. You'll have understood those things, and you'll be a more authentic version of yourself, even if it is a bit disorientating. You know, this is obviously also related to making choices and about the confusion around the choices that we make. So this is what I mean, Cancer. You need to really spend some time in February, in March, being reflective on your experiences, what you're experiencing, what you're thinking, what are your automatic thoughts? You know, what do you tell yourself? What do you believe about yourself? Why do you believe those things about yourself? You know, someone tell you that? Did someone keep you know, blah, blah, blah. So this is the energy, but it's beautiful because you have the strength right now, you have clarity, you have confidence right now. When this happens, don't be despondent, because this is the universe saying, yeah, you've got your strength, you've got your confidence, but we're going to challenge you now. And the challenge comes through, this is saying, what do you need to release? What do you need to let go of? What's not, you know, this situation is going to teach you that. And it might be that, you know, it might be that this, you know, this energy of being away from people, you know, having, you know, blimey, my car is broken down. This energy what I'm talking about. My car is broken down. I can't get any, you know, and you live in the middle of nowhere, so you can't get out to see your friends, so you're a hermit. But actually, you know, it's going to take you, I don't know, 2 weeks to get the car fixed. But actually, you know, this is giving you that time, the hermit time, you know, that healing, that deep healing that comes through this type of energy. So, you know, it's positive in the sense that, you know, you're in a place where you should be hopefully feeling more confident. And then we need to really, like the Emperor, that confidence is based on an understanding, on awareness of what is within. Okay, so I hope that you like that video. I think it's a really nice reading for you, and it's really based on what we've looked at for you guys, Cancer, over from sort of November, December, January, and your yearly reading, Cancer. This seems like you're really, those people that are sort of following and sort of, you know, living mindfully and being honest with themselves and truthful with their experiences, those people should be, this is fitting really well to where you should be. Okay, so whereabouts you should be right now, which means that you're on course for a great year, really, Cancer. Okay, so I hope you like that video anyway, my darlings. If you did, please give me a like, please give me a thumbs up. Share this content, share this video on your social media, on your Facebook, etc., on your WhatsApp, whatever, and leave a comment, and I will reply to your comments. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications of new uploads. My next video will be your March love readings, and I'll put those out next Monday. Okay, and check out the Key Wisdom playlist as well for, again, things like the mantra videos or anything to do with mindfulness, meditation and compassion. That playlist has got it all for you. And for those of you that are interested in a personal reading, I have done a little video just explaining the process of personal readings, so you can also check that video out as well. Okay, I hope you like that, Cancer. Have a fabulous couple of weeks. Excuse me, and I will see you all next week with your love reading. Take care, my darlings. Bye.